Hello everyone. In recent days, our Prime Minister visited Indonesia. In Indonesia, there is a very famous Hindu temple called Prambanan Temple. When our Prime Minister visited, an agreement was established that Indian Archaeological Survey of India and Indonesian government come together for protection and renovation of Prambanan Hindu temple. This is the temple. Now, with respect to history, we have to see what is the history behind this and how in Indonesia Hindu temples are very much famous. If we see the geographic location, this is Indonesia, this is India. How Hindu traditions reached in this location, how Indian traditions reached this location. When it comes to the present visit of Prime Minister Modi to this place, this is the place where this temple is located. The roots of this cultural connection go back to ancient times. If we see our history, in ancient times, Buddhism and Hinduism are very popular in this land. Today, Indonesia is having largest Muslim population. Before Islam arrived in this location, Buddhism, Hinduism were very strong. If we go to 8th century and 9th century and 10th century, these interactions were very strong. During 8th century, 9th and 10th century only, these temples were built there. In case of India, in 8th, 9th, 10th centuries, Cholas were ruling here. Before Cholas, Pallavas ruled. During Pallava time period and Chola time period, the contacts between India and Southeast Asia were very strong. Indian traders were trading in these locations. Indian traders were trading all the way to China, Japan in this location. And these people were also interacting. Before Cholas and Pallavas also, when Buddhism was very strong, during the days of Ashoka, Mauryan time period itself, Buddhism gradually moved out of India. After Mauryan time period, during post-Mauryan time period, many traders were actively trading with these locations. They have taken Hindu traditions and Buddhist traditions to this location. That is why, since the days of Mauryans and post-Mauryan time period, continuous contact between Indians and Southeast Asian people led to the exchange of ideas in terms of Buddhism and Hinduism. During those time period only, Buddhism ideas and Hindu ideas, Puranic ideas became very strong. In these places, Buddhist monuments are also there, Hindu monuments are also there. Ramayana Mahabharata story also very famous in these, very popular in these areas. Buddhism legends and Puranic legends are very popular in these areas. This is the place where interaction between Chinese culture and Indian culture takes place. And that is why even during colonial time period, this area was called Indo-China. So combination of India and China. Indo-China. And this is the place where Chinese culture, Indian culture meets. And as the time changed, the ideas also keep on changing. During medieval time period, this area came under Islamic influence, and that's why here also Islam also reached to these places. Today, Indonesia is having the one of the largest population, in fact, the largest Islamic population country-wise. That is how Indonesia. But even though they follow Islam, but their ancient roots still preserved. That is how Indonesia is one of the examples of human history, how to coexist with the old ideas and new ideas. And that is what India is also showing to the humanity, that how with a lot of diversity people can coexist together. Old ideas, new ideas will coexist together. There is no problem in having a lot of diversity. That is why, like India, Indonesia is also another example to show to the humanity that without having conflict, how different cultures, faiths can coexist together. In that context, in recent times, when our Prime Minister visited, now Indian government and Indonesian government come together to preserve these kind of monuments. In fact, it is also UNESCO World Heritage Site also, global level also, it has a protection. That is what the history of ancient traditions between India and Indonesia. And it's not only about Indonesia, in entire Southeast Asia, Indian culture influenced. And that is what even today also, it is reflected in different countries.